Okay, so we're going to carry on with the table drawing. The next piece we're going to draw is the divider at the bottom of the drawer that goes from one side to the other. Notice I've placed a guideline here. That guideline is level with the bottom of the back rail there, 100 millimeters down from the top. We're going to start by drawing a rectangle from the intersection of that guideline at the back of the leg, going forward, and we're going to make that 16 millimeters high and 34 millimeters deep. Now notice that when I did that, I didn't have the leg in edit mode, so it's not actually part of the leg, although I drew it on the leg. I'm allowed to push, pull across and touch the front of this leg, which means that it's now spans between the two legs. It's touching the inside, but not going any further. Going to make that a component, or in case no, just a group would be fine. So triple click, make group. Now I'm going to put some tenons on the end of it. So I need to open that in edit mode. Notice I've got the view options of our component edit as hide rest of model. I'm now going to go around to the front or the side here. I'm going to draw a tenon on the side here. I'm going to put a guideline in from the top. I'm going to come down 5 mils and do a rectangle from the back here. And that will be six, 30. Push pull will come out 15 millimeters, and we'll do the same on the other end. Guideline from the top, 5 mils, and a rectangle. 6, 30. Push pull, 15 mils. Right, so you can't see them there, but if we were to turn the X-ray mode on, you'll notice that they go in there. They also clear any of the other joinery, so they're not in a road. Having a look at the top here, you'll notice that although this tenon does go below, this tenon goes above where the dovetail in, there's no overlap there because there's a bit of room there. So that could get a bit close later on. We might want to reconsider the height of this tenon at a later date. Okay, so we now have, turn the X-ray mode off, we have the bottom divider, the top divider, the sides rails and the back rail. Next job is to draw the drawer. We could draw a rectangle across the front here to get the right size, but we know that the size is 320 by, let's measure that, it's 68, so it's 320 wide and 68 deep. So we'll come over here and we're going to draw separately a rectangle on the ground. That rectangle is going to be 320 by 19, and it's going to be 68 millimeters high. I'm going to triple click that and make that a group. Triple click, control click, make group. We don't need to make it a component because the back is actually going to be different to the front. It's going to be different size and everything. So now we've made this a group, we need to make the sides. We're going to draw a rectangle starting at the front corner there, and you're going to go back, and it's going to be 240 millimeters by 12. And it's the same height, so we can push, pull that up, touch the top there. Notice that they're intersecting. We're going to double click, triple click, and make that a component. We're going to call that the draw side. And once we've done that, we're going to copy that using the Move Copy tool, M for Move Copy, and we're going to copy that across Alt to the other side. Now we need to flip this. Whenever you copy something, we want it symmetrical, a mirror symmetrical across the middle. So we flip that along the red axis. We're going to mark this out now for the dovetails. So we're going to use the tape measure tool to find the center. Now you'll notice I put it on this edge here and it'll click on the center in the middle for me automatically. Now I'm going to put some guidelines each side of the middle, 6 millimeters up, 6 millimeters down, and 7 millimeters from the top, and 7 millimeters from the bottom. Now we need to use the protractor tool for putting some angled lines. So center the protractor, create the arm, move it, and type in 7 degrees. First one goes up, second one goes down 7 degrees, next one goes up 7 degrees, and the bottom one goes down 7 degrees. The 7 degrees is the same angle as the dovetail squares we have in the room. Now that we put the guidelines on there, all we need to do now is open this side in edit mode. Now the draw front's disappeared, we want that back again, so we're going to change the component edit, hide rest of model 1, select that, so we can see the rest of the model, including the guidelines. And we're going to use these guidelines to trace some lines onto the sides to create a dovetail. So isolate that little bit there, we can push that through to the back of the object. Isolate this one, lines there, we can push that through now, and finally down the bottom here. Notice the X tells us when we're intersecting with the object and the guidelines. Okay, so we now have a dovetail on the end of this side here, but we don't have sockets on the end of the front. So we need to now double click on the front, draw the lines again, and now we can push those out. And we have both pins on the front, tails on the side, and I can show you that by just simply selecting this, and if I pull that out you'll notice that both of the components have been cut to the right shape. But we haven't done the other end. We've got tails there, okay, but we haven't got the pins cut. And you'll also notice that I probably didn't copy that in the right position. I need to get that back there. So we've got tails on the end of our side because that's a component, but we don't have the sockets on the end of our front. So by opening the front up for edit mode, we can trace the tails that are already there onto the end of our pin board. And we can push those out. And again, so we can illustrate that by moving that out temporarily. And you notice that both pieces are cut. So that's the dovetails. And we use dovetails on a drawer because they have directional strength. They're a lot stronger in this pull direction. And that's the strain that generally gets put onto a drawer. So having a dovetail there improves the strength of that joint. But we don't need it for the back in this case. So we don't need these guidelines anymore. So I'll get rid of those, delete the guides. And we're going to create a groove in this component here, going down and through the job. So we need to edit that. So we're going to open that in edit mode. We're going to remove the rest of the job so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to create a groove that goes along the bottom here. A guideline that comes up to the bottom of that dovetail, 7 mils, and a rectangle that goes from the back right through That is 220, 3 mils. Whoop, where'd that go? Went the wrong way. Maybe it needs to go 3, 220. And we're just going to push that in. Just going to go in 5 mils. Might not have gone far enough here. Need to push that in a bit further. Another 6 mils. Well, that's interesting. I noticed that this one's on the other side, so maybe I flipped that the wrong way around. Maybe I need to flip that along green. That was under. Maybe I need to flip that along red and along blue. That's better. And finally, we need to put a groove going down, and that's to create a rebate or housing joint for the back. Now, we don't put the back right at the back, we have a little bit in. We're going to come in 30 millimeters, so we'll just do again a guideline in 30 mils. We're going to draw a rectangle at the top here. That rectangle is 6 by 10, so 6 millimeters, 10 millimeters. Wrong way around. 10 millimeters by 6. And we'll push that down until it reaches that groove at the bottom there. Erase that little bit there. Should have made those the same width, but it won't matter in this situation. Okay. The other one should be on the inside edge. Just double check that that's the case. There it is. That's the rebate joint. Then finally, what we need to do now is draw a rectangle in that space to create the back out of. And it's just a simple matter of taking it out of edit mode, drawing it from the top down to the bottom, down to there, using the push-pull tool to bring it right across to the other side, click. Now I've made that a bit longer than I need to. I might push that up so it's level with the top of that groove there.
Oh, here's your eyes, mate.
Double click, triple click, make that a groove. We'll come to the end of the draw. I think we'll stop there, and I'll make another video for the rest of it later.